turning 5, and we're celebrating in a big way.
Oh my God!
Join us Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Beehive for our 5th anniversary bash and Juneteenth celebration. We're talking surprise celebrity guests, a special presentation, and a major announcement you will not want to miss.
I can't wait to hear it.
Plus, live music, dancing, games, and enough food and drink to keep the party going.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Of course, you're welcome to bring your own picnic basket, blanket, and lawn chair. And the best part, it's completely free. But here's the thing. You've got to sign up in advance. Space is limited, so don't wait. Head to KBLA1580.com right now and lock in your spot. Friday, June 19th, The Beehive, KBLA Talk 1580. 5 years strong, and we're just getting started.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Yeah, man.
Happy Tuesday. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. First up, we have to send love, light, and condolences to the family of Robert Peabo Bryson. Listen, Peabo collaborated with the likes of Luther Vandross, Sissy Houston. One of my personal favorite collabs is he and Roberta Flack. Tonight I celebrate my love. I love that song. He had a stroke a couple of days ago and passed away today at 5. So we are sending condolences. I don't know if today's kids, the people, are familiar with Peebo's game.
Hey, it's time for an education.
So listen, Peabo Bryson, right? His biggest hit is obviously, if you weren't aware, A Whole New World, the duet with Regina Bell from Disney's Aladdin, right? His other top 10 hits include songs like If Ever You're in My Arms Again. He also did the duet for Beauty and the Beast with Celine Dion. So he was getting that Disney money papered up. But prior to that, he was signed to Capitol Records. He was 75 years old when he passed away. You know, a singer, songwriter. Can You Stop the Rain? That's another one of his hits. And he's someone that, if you like romantic music, right? That true 80s R&B, Peebo's someone that you would look towards. And like I said, he's one of those voices that made romance sound luxe and expensive, just like the 80s. He wasn't gimmicky or loud, very elegant in his delivery and approach. His music was at every wedding you could possibly think of. Slow dances back in the day. And like I said, those Disney movies, those classic Disney movies, his voice was a part of it. So adult contemporary radio knows him well. And we just want to send thoughts and prayers to all of those that are affected by his loss. Listen, we got to keep up with the diaries, the legends, because we're losing them. And, you know, it's important that we recognize that. All right, tonight, not to do a hard pivot here, but we are here to handle a couple of things. You know, this is, of course, the show where we hit all the trending topics and headlines. We're giving you a little reprieve on election night here in LA. We'll talk a little more about that later. But for the show, we are getting into legacy, ownership, nostalgia, and the price families pay when public drama becomes permanent content, right? And since it is Black Music Month, the theme tonight is bigger than celebration, because we're going to do that, you know. But we're asking, who gets to carry the culture forward, and who is protected when the institution changes hands, right? Listen, it's a lot to get into. We are talking about BET forming its first ever board of advisors. We'll get into who that involves, but hint, the original owner of BET, the creator, Bob Johnson, is a part of this mix. We're going to discuss it. We're also talking about Black music in general, R&B. Nostalgia is what is running up most of the sales in music right now. We just had Drake do a thing that probably only a handful of artists can do. Are we looking too far back in the past, and is it causing a what is the word that I want to use? A sort of a slowing down, a bottleneck of future R&B. I know it's out there, but we keep going backwards. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And of course, we got more trending topics and headlines for you. We haven't had a Larsa Pippen update in a while. What did Trent the artist used to call her? Lost prevention. All right, so listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into all these trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tonight, no one's gonna find us. We'll leave the world behind us. When I make love to you tonight, I celebrate my love for you and hope that deep inside you feel it too. Tonight,
You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is dedicated to inspiring youth and resilience through storytelling, arts, filmmaking, and enrichment programs for youth and families in under-resourced communities and system-impacted individuals. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit providing free and low-cost arts programs to youth and families from under-resourced communities, both system-impacted youth and those affected by the incarceration of a loved one. 1 in 43 children in America have a parent incarcerated. 70% of those children are expected to end up in prison. Through filmmaking, animation, theater, and writing, they help young people express themselves, build confidence, and imagine new possibilities. Beyond the arts, they offer financial literacy workshops, emergency support, and scholarships. Because thriving takes more than talent, it takes access. To learn more about the impact of Michael Daughters Foundation and how you can be a part of the movement, please visit their website, michaelsdaughterfoundation.com. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. It's Black Music Month, so we're hitting off the jams, right? Shout out to, is it Kenzie? Kenny Burke, okay. Keep rising to the top. We know Dougie Fresh sampled this. Vibes. All right, listen, you know how it goes down here. If at any point you want to get in on the conversation, 800-920-1580. You can also hit us up on social media, KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill everywhere. Or hop into the YouTube chat. Get the visual to go along with this audio experience. Now, it is Tuesday, so I'm not alone in breaking down these topics. I am joined by producer, host of the Black Press USA morning show.
Hey.
Director, all of the things, cultural pundit. Miss Niele Anderson is in the building. Welcome back, Niele. How are you this election Tuesday? Did you vote?
Peace and love. And yes, I voted. I filled out my ballot about a couple weeks ago, but my good friend Jasmine Canick said, don't drop it in the ballot box yet because you might change your mind. So I held it till Sunday, and I felt confident about my choices, and so I dropped it in the box on Sunday. So yes, I voted. How about you?
I have my ballot. No, I have my ballot filled out. I was gonna go before the show to drop it off. I was late. My ballot place closes at 8. It's on the way home, so we're safe.
Okay.
I'm absolutely voting. This is an important election.
You can't be here in this space at KBLA 1580 and not vote. Okay.
And although I do not vote for LA City Mayor because I don't live in LA City, I live in LA County.
Ditto.
So I vote for this LA County Supervisor.
Oh, Holly Mitchell.
Right.
All right.
So
well, I was excited to cast my vote for Karen Bass.
Big ups to
I was
Karen.
excited about that.
Can I ask y'all a question real quick?
Sure.
I mean, even though I can't, I reside in Inglewood, so I can't vote for the LA mayor. I would have voted for Mayor Bass. Oh, excuse me. Spencer Pratt, man. I ain't gonna lie. There's been clips that I've seen of this man. He has been in the community.
Are you talking about the Slauson Girl clip? I saw that.
I mean, he was in the J's. He was over there in the 6-0 hood.
What does that mean?
For me, it was captivating because you don't see too many politicians on whatever side come to those communities and actually engage with them.
Don't tell me you drank the Kool-Aid.
I'm not saying
Andy.
I drank the Kool-Aid. But I just don't see many politicians coming into those neighborhoods.
Well, it was a well-produced visit. Let's just say that right there. It was well-produced with extras, AI-generated videos and images and everything. So, I mean, I get that he went, but it wasn't organic. It was all produced like if I was producing an episode for a Netflix show.
Listen,
or a reality show.
I like Spencer Pratt thinks Sandy Hook was a hoax. That's all.
And he also said that all homeless people are on drugs. He said that too.
So, I don't think that the LA, I'm not giving any recommendations here. I am not giving any recommendations. Please understand. But I don't think that the LA mayor position is a starter job. It's not the role where you learn as you go.
Amen.
It is the second largest, what is California, the second? And I understand that Los Angeles is a city in California, but what I'm saying is the amount of revenue that the state and the city generate for the country and all of the things, yeah, I'm sorry, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Speaking of, though, right here on KBLA Talk 1580 at 8 p.m., we have live election night coverage. Dominique DePrima and Adrian Shropshire and Dr. Nee Cordelai will be in the building giving you blow-by-blow updates from 8 to 10 p.m. So make sure that you tap in with that to get that off.
And I'll tell, here's a little trick. You can go to the LA County Register's website, and you can click on election results, and you can get real time, polling, voting center results. So like on election night, I'm always on LA. It's just like there. And so that I could see, how much of a lead Karen Bass has, how much a lead that the governor's race, who's winning in the different precincts across the state. So that's another place as you listen to some of the most brilliant minds in LA when it comes to politics and black politics specifically. And of course, I'm talking about Dr. Nee Cordelai, Dominique DePrima, and
Adrian Shropshire.
There we have it.
Boom. All right, listen, let's get into these topics because I know that's what you guys are here for. All right, so first up, BET has announced they are forming their first ever board of advisors. And one of the top names on this list, on this group, is Bob Johnson. Yes, that Bob Johnson, the man that started BET, that created the entity that is now legendary and has been influential in shaping black culture for the last almost 40 years. Or has it been 40 years? It has been 40 years. What am I saying? So in addition to Bob Johnson, and this is all being led by BET President Louis Carr, it is also Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, NFL executive Troy Vincent, Lazard President Raymond J. McGuire. I have no idea who that individual is, by the way. And Paramount TV Media Chair George Cheeks.
Okay.
So BET framed that the board will be a strategic and cultural sounding board for the company's next chapter. As we know, BET has changed ownership hands once again. This is the second time that this has happened in the network's history. The first time was in early 2000s when Paramount Viacom, at the time actually, purchased the BET network. So now they are under Paramount. And listen, BET is sitting inside of a larger media transition moment, right? Paramount is navigating corporate shifts, the merger, cost cutting, strategic pressure. But what I want to know is, are they really going to allow these individuals to get in there and have a hand on what is happening with the company? And the follow-up to that is, are these the individuals that should be guiding the next era of the company? Niele, I would love to hear your thoughts.
We talked about this on Friday, and I mean, I think it's a great strategic move when you think about Paramount and Skydance, who they represent, the Ellisons, and how much stake they have in the United States when it comes to detention centers, when it comes to media, when it comes to foreign affairs, when it comes to tech. You know, the Ellisons have their hands in all of it, and that is the owners of Paramount Skydance. So I think strategically it was brilliant. As much stake or as much opinion and as much progress that these individuals can make, I think that is yet to be seen.
I mean, I also question if they are currently, and not so much Latifah. She obviously works with her partner Shakim, and they have flavor unit that they've been producing things off and on throughout the years, including TV. But I don't know if they are currently embedded within the culture, because let's be honest, though there will be a little bit in there for millennials and Gen Xers, this is about getting into Gen Z. And respectfully, I don't know. I'm not saying that they don't, but I would have questions.
Right. And let's not forget that Latifah had a talk show on CBS. She starred in The Equalizer on CBS.
She's not my question.
Okay. Well, you had mentioned her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Latifah's not my question. The others kind of are. And, you know, there might be some Republicans in that mix, but that's fine. That's fine. I just don't know if they have their hand on the current pulse, because, and they might be in the background, but what else are they, what have they been doing lately that tracks with a younger audience, or a vibrant, or even something culturally moving right now?
I think it's more of a move to say we have black people.
I mean,
we know that BET is no longer owned by blacks, black African Americans. So this is just saying that we got black people.
I know, but here's the thing, and that's what concerns me, because if it's just a token, for lack of a better word, position, right? That's all fine and well when things are going well. But what if something really wrong happens, or what if they serve something up and the higher ups at Paramount turn it down, and the culture's looking at them and they're like, here's your black faces we can throw to shoulder the blame?
Well, that's where we hope that these individuals that they have chosen, although it may appear that they're pawns, that they don't act like ones.
Right. I mean, and I am not saying that they are literal pawns, but just they are being positioned in a way I feel that is
right. And it's like the grandfather clause. Like, they're all older. To your point, it's like there was no thought of, well, let me put a millennial on here, let me put a Gen Z on here. Your host for The Biggest Night in Culture is Drewski. Meaning that you understand that is a demo that you have to tap into.
Right.
Yet you create this board and there's no young people. It's kind of like Congress. Where the young people at?
So, I mean, Louis Carr referred to it as more than a platform. He called it a cultural institution with a responsibility to serve, reflect, and advance our community. Louis has been there for a very, very long time. He was formerly the president of sales. He was at the company certainly when I was there almost 20 years ago, and he had been there before that. I'm not sure if he goes all the way back to DC, but he's seen the different phases that the company has gone through. And one of the things that I know that happened a lot with them is that every time they got a new head, the vision for the company shifted. And then when that person was let go, some of the gains seemed to drop out, and there was a new focus and a new mission. And I know that's how business goes and that's how companies work, but I think it created a lot of destabilization within the company. And I really feel like people primarily tune into BET for the awards in June.
Right. And we know that Tyler Perry, Paramount has acquired Tyler Perry's 25% ownership. So, and BET Plus is gone. But while you were talking about this gentleman, what came to mind is strategy. And maybe this is part of his strategy to protect his job.
Indeed, that could be fair.
You know, and if
fair.
that is the case, I think that's really smart, because being a part of Paramount Skydance, you know what you're up against. You see what's happening over at 60 Minutes. You see what's happening with the news department at CBS. And so for him to be the lone star black guy, maybe he felt he needed some support. And why not go to a Bob Johnson, a Queen Latifah, an LL Cool J? Because then at least you feel like you have some type of support as an advisory board.
Indeed. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. But I do have a question for us to ponder while we are on our little siesta. I guess I'll call it a siesta really quick. Our break. What is BET supposed to be in 2026? When we come forward, we'll get into that, plus more trending topics and headlines.
That's a good question.
Man, I got this swag. My head touching my bag. You know I'm popping tag. Man, I got I swag when I surf. Now I be surfing swag. I'm on hypnotic, exotic, polo on my body. Got a bag girl beside me. And a friend right behind me. And I'm swag. I'm swag. I'm swag. I'm swag.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. June is crunch time for the Supreme Court, with more than 24 opinions expected before summer recess.
There's actually a case now which argues ballots have to be received by election day.
Pending cases include whether states can count mail-in ballots received after Election Day during a 5-day grace period. Another major case involves birthright citizenship. The World Health Organization is updating Ebola numbers in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Officials now report 116 suspected cases, 321 confirmed cases, and 48 confirmed deaths after earlier estimates were lowered when many suspected cases turned out to be other illnesses. And Sean Diddy Combs could face new charges while serving time in New Jersey. TMZ reports Los Angeles officials are reviewing sexual battery claims made by publicist Jonathan Hay, who says Combs assaulted him in 2020 and 2021. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Over 1,000 career strikeouts. He's a force on the mound. Join the Dodgers for Tyler Glasnow Starter Series Bobblehead Night, June 6th versus the Angels. The first 40,000 fans get an exclusive Tyler Glasnow bobblehead presented by Blue Shield. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Cleveland Browns general manager Andrew Berry said Monday's trade that sent Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Rams would not have happened unless the Rams included linebacker Jared Verse in the deal. Verse made the Pro Bowl in his first 2 seasons with the Rams. Last season, Verse led the Rams in sacks with 7.5 and was second on the team in tackles for a loss. After selecting Victor Wembanyama with the #1 pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs have been on a steady rise up the charts. In Wembanyama's rookie season, the Spurs were 22-60 and lost 18 straight games. In year 2, the Spurs were 34-48. This season, the Spurs finished 62-20, second best record in the NBA behind Oklahoma City. This surge has taken the Spurs all the way to the NBA Finals. Game 1 against the Knicks is Wednesday night, 5:30 tip-off on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's celebrate.
Y'all did it.
Loving each other, needing each other.
Hey, Los Angeles. KBLA Talk 1580 is turning 5, and we're celebrating in a big way.
Oh my God!
Join us Friday, June 19th, Juneteenth, 4 to 7 p.m. at the Beehive for our 5th anniversary bash and Juneteenth celebration. We're talking surprise celebrity guests, a special presentation, and a major announcement you will not want to miss.
I can't wait to hear it.
Plus, live music, dancing, games, and enough food and drink to keep the party going.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Of course, you're welcome to bring your own picnic basket, blanket, and lawn chair. And the best part, it's completely free. But here's the thing. You've got to sign up in advance. Space is limited, so don't wait. Head to KBLA1580.com right now and lock in your spot. Friday, June 19th, The Beehive, KBLA Talk 1580. 5 years strong, and we're just getting started.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Yeah, man.
Hey, KBLA listeners, this is Stephen Bradford, candidate for State Insurance Commissioner on June 2nd. I've spent my entire life as a public servant on the Gardena City Council, the State Assembly, and the State Senate, standing up for working families, small businesses, seniors, and communities that are too often left behind. I'm running for State Insurance Commissioner because we need an advocate, a watchdog, who will make sure insurance is not only available, but affordable for all Californians. I, like you, am tired of being dropped from coverage after doing everything right, or wondering if anyone is on your side after a disaster strikes. I will be your strongest advocate to make sure we have a vibrant insurance market that creates greater competition and more choices for consumers like yourself. We need a market that serves all of California. As your next insurance commissioner, I will be that warrior to make sure all Californians have affordable insurance. Your ballots have arrived. I ask you to vote for Stephen Bradford as your next insurance commissioner. Stephen Bradford, a name you know. Stephen Bradford, a name you can trust. Vote by June 2nd.
Paid for by Stephen Bradford for Insurance Commissioner.
Medicare Fraud Prevention Week focuses on the actions everyone can take to prevent Medicare fraud, errors, and abuse. Learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones by joining the Senior Medicare Patrol, or SMP, for Medicare Fraud Prevention Week, held the week of June 5th. Learn more at californiasmp.org or by calling 1-855-613-7080.
Let's be real. For too long, too many of our students have sat in overcrowded classrooms in underfunded public schools.
But as head of the San Diego School Board, Richard Barrera changed that.
Under Barrera's leadership, student literacy rose from the state average all the way to #1 among major urban school districts. Barrera led the way for smaller classrooms and for teachers to be paid what they're worth.
Barrera funded more counselors and mental health services, and community schools that teach real-world skills for future jobs.
A community organizer who became an education leader to fight for our kids. The only candidate for State Superintendent of Public Instruction.
Backed by the 310,000 classroom educators of the California Teachers Association. Vote Democrat Richard Barrera for State Superintendent.
Ad paid for by California Teachers Association Independent Expenditure Committee. Not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Happy Black Music Month. Shout out to Bobby Brown.
That's right.
You know Bobby's doing a concert solo. Think it's later this month or is it next month?
It's coming. My friend, homegirl, called and asked me if I wanted to go to the show in Vegas because I'm Bobby Brown's #1 fan. Okay, well, I was back in the 90s and 80s, but I'd rather see him with New Edition now, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, shout out to B Brown. Now, listen, and reminder, I'm not alone breaking down these topics tonight. I'm joined by Niele Anderson.
Hey.
Now, before we came forward, I asked, what is BET supposed to be in 2026? And I asked this question because Black audiences don't necessarily need one channel in the current times to catch Black culture, right? The culture lives on YouTube,
right,
on KBLA, and Black Press USA. Do you know newsletters, Instagram, Twitch? There's various places where we can go. And I'm not dismissing BET at all or its importance. I'm not saying that. What I am asking, though, is that in a situation where everybody has to compete, what is BET supposed to be in 2026? Because when I worked there, one of the biggest problems I felt from my perspective internally was that BET was trying to be all things to all audiences, meaning they wanted to serve a little Gen X Rachets at the time.
Right.
That's ratchet. They wanted to touch the gospel crowd, because Bobby Jones Gospel had been there forever and Sunday Best and those shows. But then they also, wanted to live in this new television space, and the confusion, I think, on which audience to target, to say everybody is welcome, but we're really going after this group.
Right.
I think kind of led to some, dysfunction to a degree, because I feel that there was a while that they didn't really have an identity.
Yeah, I agree with that. You touched on some good points. The Black church, we loved BET. We loved Bobby Jones Gospel because that's where we found who the new artists were. We can also go back to the old Sunday Best was a great show. I just think they should get back to the basics because we set the trends. We are the culture. 106 in Park was a staple. Don't try to reinvent 106 in Park. Just leave it like it was when Stephen Hill was there. And we had all of our favorite voices and we got to hear from the artists. I miss videos. I don't go to YouTube for videos.
Look, there's Andy. But see, I don't believe the younger generation is going to get on board and want to go and sit for an hour to see videos that they feel like they can see on YouTube.
I agree, but it's so funny. I'm scrolling through my phone and I'm looking at Method Man and Redman saying, if you were born past the 90s, we don't want to talk to you. So maybe they should just be talking to the Gen Xers who it resonates with, and then the nieces and nephews will follow suit. Maybe they should pick a generation.
Andy? I see you deep in thought over there.
Pick a generation, BET, and I think your sweet spot is Gen X.
I just think that if they were to have a 106 in Park equivalent, give the community a chance. I understand that everybody's on their phones, on TikTok, on social media, but give it a chance to where this show is only on BET once a week at this particular time. You got to catch it on whatever, even the app or whatever the case may be, but it's once a week, a music show where you have music videos and where artists come, promote whatever they got, they perform, and I think people will gravitate to it.
We'll see. I mean, I do think that there is something to be said. Look at Tiny Desk for live performances in that type of system. I think that there are ways that they perhaps could tweak it, but I also think in saying that it's not automatically going to be Gen Z's moment, and the reason why I bring that up is because that's how brands grow and expand, by hooking in the younger demographic, so that 20 years from now, just like we were like, BET is going what? They want that same impact. But
and I just feel like they should just focus on Gen X. Because we're the ones that made that. And I think if you start there and have a secondary tier, I think people will follow suit. We were just talking about Jay-Z. I mean, there's something there with what he did. and who it resonated with, right?
Correct.
And so I think if they pick one of the most important shows that BET, well, it's no longer BET Plus now, it's on Paramount, is Sisters, Tyler Perry. Like, his shows performed well on BET, and really they targeted a Gen X audience. And so I think that's their sweet spot. You're bringing Bob Johnson back. That's who he was catering to when he launched.
I mean, the original blueprint.
Right.
So we'll see what comes with it. Well, kind of sticking in the same area, but not the same specific point. I mentioned it's Black Music Month, and I wanted to have a conversation because are we celebrating Black music history, or are we using the past to bully the present? I feel, I got a lot of emotion. So, listen, Black music does not have a talent problem, right? We've never had that. But it does have a development problem and a nostalgia problem because our attention spans aren't the same. And I feel as though there are a few bright spots, but we do not allow new artists to take hold and thrive. Now, part of that I feel is they don't do a lot of development, but if 70, it's actually higher than this, but I'm going to go conservative. 75% of music sales and streams is old music older than 15 years. So what does that mean? Music is a core driver, right? We use music as an enhancer, a mood changer, a motivator, all of the things. So what does that mean when we keep re-looping the 90s, right? How many 90s parties can we have? And I'm not saying this disrespectful.
Hilarious.
That is my thing. I love it, right? But where are your current memories, kids?
Right. It's so funny because D Nice is live right now doing a 90s mix, 90s music only. I mean, he knows how to draw, but I think it's because it's so simple. A song is not a song anymore. We don't have no more bridges.
It's snippets, yeah.
It's no bridges. Songs are 3 minutes. We don't have no 5 and 7 minute songs. And I think that's why. And the lyrics, the storytelling, and the art of creating a song is just not the same.
Shout out to Morris Phillips in the chat. He says, look at Michael Jackson. He's still #1, running them charts, making new fans. Some of Michael's fans probably aren't even born yet. And that band has been gone for, 17 years? I can't remember. It was 2009. I'm losing the path. But you get what I'm saying. Listen, when we come forward, we'll get into more trending topics and headlines.
Wish I could return to sender, but you don't love me no more. And I don't even know what for. Knew it was real when you blocked me. Never sit at home judging my body. Wondering what I did to lose you. Why in the hell you ain't choose me?
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's be real. For too long, too many of our students have sat in overcrowded classrooms in underfunded public schools.
But as head of the San Diego School Board, Richard Barrera changed that.
Under Barrera's leadership, student literacy rose from the state average all the way to #1 among major urban school districts. Barrera led the way for smaller classrooms and for teachers to be paid what they're worth.
Barrera funded more counselors and mental health services, and community schools that teach real-world skills for future jobs.
A community organizer who became an education leader to fight for our kids. The only candidate for State Superintendent of Public Instruction.
Backed by the 310,000 classroom educators of the California Teachers Association. Vote Democrat Richard Barrera for State Superintendent.
Ad paid for by California Teachers Association Independent Expenditure Committee. Not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
You still have time to vote. Skip the lines and return your ballot to any official ballot drop box near you leading up to Tuesday, June 2nd. So don't wait and vote early. Visit plan.lavote.gov to learn more. Brought to you by the Los Angeles County Registrar.
Hi, I'm Chris Holden, former California Assembly member, former Mayor of Pasadena, and CEO of LA Fire Justice. I've spent my career fighting for our communities. When I saw Edison celebrating $4.5 billion in profits while Eaton Fire survivors struggle to make ends meet, it made me simultaneously sick and furious. Families and individuals are dealing with financial pressure, insurance delays, costly remediation, and the painful question of how to rebuild their lives, while the utility that caused the fire is paying its executives millions and is more profitable than ever. That's not justice, that's a disgrace. Join the lawsuit with LA Fire Justice to hold Edison accountable. We're here to help you, your family, and our community recover. Visit lafirejustice.com today to learn more about your eligibility and how to start.
Advertisement. Douglas Boxer, 221 East Walnut Street, Suite 100, Pasadena, California, 91101 is the attorney responsible for this ad.
LA Fire Justice is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, KBLA listeners, this is Stephen Bradford, candidate for State Insurance Commissioner on June 2nd. I've spent my entire life as a public servant on the Gardena City Council, the State Assembly, and the State Senate, standing up for working families, small businesses, seniors, and communities that are too often left behind. I'm running for State Insurance Commissioner because we need an advocate, a watchdog, who will make sure insurance is not only available, but affordable for all Californians. I, like you, am tired of being dropped from coverage after doing everything right, or wondering if anyone is on your side after a disaster strikes. I will be your strongest advocate to make sure we have a vibrant insurance market that creates greater competition and more choices for consumers like yourself. We need a market that serves all of California. As your next insurance commissioner, I will be that warrior to make sure all Californians have affordable insurance. Your ballots have arrived. I ask you to vote for Stephen Bradford as your next insurance commissioner. Stephen Bradford, a name you know. Stephen Bradford, a name you can trust. Vote by June 2nd.
Paid for by Stephen Bradford for Insurance Commissioner.
Let's be real. For too long, too many of our students have sat in overcrowded classrooms in underfunded public schools.
But as head of the San Diego School Board, Richard Barrera changed that.
Under Barrera's leadership, student literacy rose from the state average all the way to #1 among major urban school districts. Barrera led the way for smaller classrooms and for teachers to be paid what they're worth.
Barrera funded more counselors and mental health services, and community schools that teach real-world skills for future jobs.
A community organizer who became an education leader to fight for our kids. The only candidate for State Superintendent of Public Instruction.
Backed by the 310,000 classroom educators of the California Teachers Association. Vote Democrat Richard Barrera for State Superintendent.
Ad paid for by California Teachers Association Independent Expenditure Committee, not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And obviously, we are celebrating Black Music Month. We're going to be doing this all month long.
I love that.
Shout out to Cheryl Lynn, Encore. Listen, she had the tight little leather going on in the video, looking at herself in the mirror. Better do it.
All right. Did I miss it, or did we give our condolences to Peebo Bryson?
You were not here yet.
Okay. Well, I want to give my condolences.
Please do.
You know that I was a niece during that time, and my aunts and my mother loved them some Peebo Bryson, which means I love him. So rest in peace and prayers to his family.
Yeah, we're losing our legends. All right, listen, I'm going to pivot back really quickly because I know that we're not going to have time to get into this once we get into the music conversation, but I still want to put y'all up on game because you're going to ask me what happened. I'm going to tell you really quick what's going on with Larsa Pippen and Scottie Pippen's son, Preston. He is currently on Calabasas Confidential, which is a reality show on Hulu. It also features Master P's son, Hersey, and Romeo makes an appearance. But the rest of the cast is Caucasian. All right. So Preston opened up about his parents' divorce and how it impacted him, right? He says that it may be, basically entertainment for the public, but for the kids inside the house, the wounds are real. And he says that it is the infidelity, not his dad's, because mind you, his dad was cheating through most of the relationship. His mother's infidelity with Future that was the source of so much pain for him. He said that the divorce was hard because of the affair and that his classmates made jokes about Larsa's alleged relationship with Future during the public fallout, right? Okay. They separated in 2016, briefly reconciled, separated again, and finalized the divorce in 2021. And since then, Larsa has been through a variety of relationships. She's been in her Kardashian era. She was back on Real Housewives of Miami. But there's been some questionable moves.
Oh yeah,
with some very young men. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying, you're supposed to have the upper hand, homegirl. But, and we can't forget about, her dalliance with her ex-husband's teammate's son.
Michael Jordan's son.
Yeah, okay. Marcus.
Okay.
So that's what's up with that. He went to Sierra Canyon, if you guys wanted to know. We've all heard a lot about that school. And he basically said that, it was a lot of weight on him, and that just because the other kids were famous as well, or their parents were in the industry, didn't stop him. We knew that. Larsa didn't think about that, obviously, as we discussed during the time period. So that's the tea with that. Family trauma going viral.
I mean,
not good.
You
There's
can't
no way to escape it.
Mamas can't pick their kids, and kids can't pick their mamas. So we just gotta love each other through it, because you can't pick your family. It is what it is.
It is. All right, so let's talk black music really quickly. Do you think that we spend too much time dipping back and don't give enough space for the current crop of R&B artists?
The music today is trash. Okay, let's just call it what it is.
You're not feeling the new Kehlani, or there's a couple of the new Chris Brown. I'm
feeling Young Miami. Spin that. Okay.
Where all my scamming.
Okay.
Spin that. Anyway,
I think that's the anthem of the summer. But I mean, to be honestly truthful, the songs that Andy was playing stay most in my rotation. 90s music, Method Man and Mary J. Blige, Jay-Z, all those things. That's what I listen to.
So
it's the lyric. You know what it is for me? It's the lyrics.
I do think that there's a lack of sort of storytelling. How many times can we talk about, although we just shouted that song out, scamming and pay me baby and I got a price tag, this punani ain't for free.
Right. It's just not given.
I'ma toss you and move around. I don't know. We need some substance, but I have said on many occasions, I read books, so I don't necessarily need a bunch of substance in my hip hop. We've discussed this. Andy laughs at me. Andy.
On the topic of hip hop, I think production is garbage nowadays too.
Okay.
I
mean, shout out to DJ Mustard. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the ones holding it down, and Metro Boomin and whatnot.
Right.
But like back in the 90s, you had the super producer, Timbaland, Swizz Beatz, Pharrell, and although those cats are still making music, where's the new generation of producers? That's
right.
As soon as you hear from them, That's going to be a
There's
banger.
not many tags. I mean, Hit Boy is kind of still young.
I love Hit Boy. I love him.
I think that there's some good producers out there, but I do think that we're so fragmented at this point in time. However, I'm going to drop this before we get out of here. YouTube has made a pact with Sirius XM. They're going to be doing some type of relationship collaboration a la Netflix and iHeart. Dare I say, I don't know. There's some things happening, but I really do feel like I hope these new R&B artists, maybe they're taking footholds in their communities,
right?
And maybe that's what it is.
But
it's just not. The era of the superstar artist is done. And perhaps that's what it is.
I think it goes back to, how we first started it, talking about BET, and I'm thinking of Video Soul, Donnie Simpson, how there was something special about that video and that artist and that couch and that conversation.
I think so, but I also think that the programming of radio, not here, of course, because we're independent and we're also a talk radio station, but I think that the regular stations being programmed from one central source, there's no longer regional sounds. And I think that adds to it, too. Listen,
That's
I know
a great
I put
point.
you guys right up on the edge. And, of course, we love when Niele's here. But sadly, it's time to go. Niele, please tell everyone where they can find you.
You can check me out Monday through Friday on YouTube at The Morning Show, the Black Press USA Morning Show YouTube channel, and then you can check my show out on The Shade Room every Thursday, where we bring you the culture and the headlines. And I'm excited because Erica Campbell from Mary Mary will be joining us this Thursday, so check us out at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time on The Shade Room.
You can go to The Shade Room to get the culture. Do you need to go to BET? I don't know.
Ooh.
All right, listen. Facts, context, and culture. That's what we specialize here on the Jill Munroe Show. Coming up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. And don't forget at 8 o'clock, our election special with Dominique DePrima, Dr. Nee Quarterly, and Adrian Shropshire. I'll get at you guys tomorrow.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. June is crunch time for the Supreme Court, with more than 24 opinions expected before summer recess.
There's actually a case now which argues ballots have to be received by election day.
Pending cases include whether states can count mail-in ballots received after Election Day during a 5-day grace period. Another major case involves birthright citizenship. The World Health Organization is updating Ebola numbers in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Officials now report 116 suspected cases, 321 confirmed cases, and 48 confirmed deaths after earlier estimates were lowered when